Skill 5. Simplifying using multiplication. When we multiply, there's two steps. The first step is to multiply any numbers in the terms together. The second step is to take all the letters out and put them together. If the same letter appears more than once, then you add the powers. Some examples of this are featured below. So if we look at 2m times 3m, the numbers are circled in orange, so we do 2 times 3, which gives 6, and the letters are circled in red. M times m gives m squared. The reason why it's m squared is there's an invisible power of 1 here, an invisible power of 1 here. So we add the powers. 1 plus 1 gives 2. So we finish up with 6m squared. If we look at the next one, we've got 4 times 5 in the orange gives 20. And then we've got y to the power of 1 and y to the power of 1, and they add to give y squared, or y to the power of 2. So our final answer is 20y squared. The last example is 6 times 3 gives 18, c to the power of 1 and c squared gives c cubed, which is c to the power of 3. If we do some of the examples from question 4, A is 3m times 2n. I do the numbers first, so 3 times 2 is 6, and then I get the letters, which are not the same, and I just write them next to each other, mn, and that's my final answer. The next one is D, 5x times negative 2y. If we do the numbers first, 5 times negative 2 gives negative 10, and the letters x times y, we just write next to each other, xy. So my final answer is negative 10 xy. The next question is G, 5a times 2a. We do the numbers, 5 times 2 is 10, and then we do the letters. We've got a to the power of 1 and a to the power of 1, so we'll finish with a squared. And that's our final answer. And the last one, J, m times 7m. Now remembering, if we see a letter by itself, it has an invisible 1 in front of it as the coefficient. So this is like doing 1 times 7. So 1 times 7 is 7, and then our powers are 1 and 1, which gives m squared. So our final answer is 7m squared. Here are some multiplication examples where there are 3 terms to multiply together. If we look at P, there's 4pq times negative p times 3q squared. Let's look at the numbers of the coefficients first. There's 4. Here we've got negative p, so there would be a negative 1 there. So we've got negative 1, and we've got positive 3. So if we do the numbers first, 4 times negative 1 times 3 will give me a negative 12. Use your calculator if you're not sure. So we'll put negative 12 out the front. Then in another colour we'll do the letters. We've got p and q, another p, and a q squared. Let's look at the p's first. P to the power of 1 and p to the power of 1 gives p squared. If we look at the q's, q to the power of 1 and q squared will give a total of q to the power of 3. So our final answer is negative 12 p squared q cubed. Question 6a, we've got 5x times 4y times 2xy. Again, let's do the numbers first. 5 times 4 times 2. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 2 is 40. So we'll have 40 out the front. Then we've got an x to the power of 1 and an x to the power of 1 gives x squared. A y to the power of 1 and a y to the power of 1 gives a y squared. So our final answer is 40 x squared y squared.